G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode I'm going to be working on the sills again, but hopefully this is going to be the final one on the sills, that is. So I've got the ends of the sills done. I've got the outer sill cap all cut to, to the right size, and everything's going pretty good there. So basically what's left to do now is just get inside the sill panels primed where I've done all the work, get them epoxied, and then get these outer sill caps welded final, and then go ahead and linish them. So I'll just go around one more time and we'll just have a bit of a look at what's been done so far. So here's the passenger side inner sill, and just looking along it like that. And this is the way the end one turns out. Actually, that's not sitting down right, but yeah, that'll come down like that. These, the rear tubs, to be honest, are looking a little bit worse for wear. This one's not too bad, but one on the other side's looking pretty shocking. Somebody's done, I don't know, it's a really bad, ugly repair. I didn't know this. When I blasted these panels and epoxied them, there was still a fair bit of this tar-like sealer which was just on the inside there, and I didn't worry about it. I just said I'll stuff it because it didn't come off with the blaster. So I thought, oh well, I won't worry about it. Maybe I'll get it off with the, with the wire buff later on. Anyway, I only just did that the other day, and yeah, I found something pretty ugly. What's happened is somebody's replaced this outer tub at some stage, and they've simply laid it in over the top of, or what was left of, the old one, and it hasn't even been located properly. It's actually sitting up a little bit. It's probably sitting up about almost 20 mil from the other one. Yeah, it's really dodgy. To be honest, bit of a setback for me. I'm not going to tackle it right at the moment. I'm just going to carry on with the build and decide what I'm going to do about it later. Whether or not I'm going to repair it as it was originally, or whether I'm going to make a set of proper tubs for it and get a bit more wheel clearance. But right now, yeah, a bit of a disappointment, but I'll get back to it at a later stage and figure out what I'm going to do with it. So, but in the meantime, we're going to finish off these sills, which are all looking pretty lovely. Went ahead and did the weld, because as you would remember if you saw the other episodes, these two, both sides were actually two pieces joined together. I only had them tacked at that stage, but now they're joined final and linished. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll get these primed inside and get them tacked into place, and then do the final welds. But all in all, it's starting to look pretty good. So another thing is, I'm really interested in getting some feedback from you guys that are watching. Maybe you could let us know any things that you'd like to see in the build that you haven't seen me cover. Any suggestions is always welcome. It's always interesting reading people's comments. Yeah, if there's any sort of, the way that I'm doing things or the way I'm filming things, if you've got any suggestions about how you'd like to see it done or whatever. Somebody mentioned in the recent video that the camera could be a little closer, and that's definitely true. Sometimes I put the camera a little bit further away because I don't want to get welding splatter on it. But you can put it in a protective cover, but the only problem with that is that there's no way of charging it, and also any sound is gone. It just doesn't work out properly if you put it in the protective camera. In the protective shield. So anyway, I'm gonna sort of address that in future episodes. Hopefully, be able to sort of zoom in a little bit more on what I'm doing. The other thing too is if I'm here alone, it sort of makes a bit of a difference as to if I've got somebody that can actually film me when I'm working. So at the moment I've got Blake here giving me a hand, but that's just basically to do this introduction. So Anyway, we'll get on with it, and like I said, feel free to leave any comments on anything you'd like to see, or if you'd like to see me improve on anything. Yeah, I'd love to know, because the main thing is that I'm enjoying the build, but I'd like you guys that are watching it to enjoy as much as possible too. So anyway, all good, we'll get on with it. Here we are, ready to weld in the outer sill panel at long last. It's at moments like these that you start thinking, did I remember everything? Did I get everything? Am I sure I want to do this? Was there any nuts and bolts and washers and spanners left inside there? But yeah, no, it's all good. It's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the plug welds in the actual, more or less in the center of the sill. And I'm just going to start working outwards. So I'll do a couple up here, then I'll throw a few tacks along the top of the sill edge here. But I'm just going to kind of go side to side and start working my way outwards, kind of like you would if you were talking down a head gasket kind of thing. Why? Well, nobody told me to. I just sort of think it seems like a logical idea that if you started welding from one end and you just, you know, went ballistic and just started coming through, that you know, maybe you might find that things don't work out. So I want to sort of bring it all down even, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, we'll get into it. I'll put it in time lapse and I'll try and get the cameras fairly close to what I'm doing.
that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a...
And that, as they say, is all she wrote. She's all welded in. And I think it's looking quite good. Up the front here you can see the mounting points for the guard. And have a look inside here. It's fairly undetectable really. It's all blended in pretty well. And really it went quite well actually. It was such minimal distortion. I mean, that is still fairly much dead straight. There's just I have a slight bit where I welded the two pieces together, but it's ever so slight. Let's flip it over and we'll just have a look at it from the other side. It is looking nice and pretty. This sheet metal, I don't think I mentioned it before, it actually had like a thin gelb coat on it. So that's why it sort of looks a bit swirly after I went over with the DA sander. Still a bit of gelb on it. That's alright. So now I'm thinking about running along that seam and welding that up and blenishing that. So let me know what you think. I think if that was welded and blenished, then that would just finish it nice, eh? Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and as again, please subscribe if you haven't already, like and share, and we'll catch us next time.